She emerged from the Alaskan wilderness so naturally that viewers watched her grow up in real time. But in 2025, Snowbird Brown's transformation is nothing short of shocking. The Alaskan Bush People star has unveiled a bold new look that has fans gasping, and it's fueling rumors the rugged life on the homestead might finally be over. From dramatic style changes to whispered personal reinventions and unexpected plans, this is the Snowbird no one saw coming. Let's dive into what's really happening today. In early 2024, Snowbird Brown, one of the most recognizable faces from Alaskan Bush People, faced a terrifying health crisis that could have altered her life forever. Known for her quiet strength and deep connection to the wilderness, Snowbird was suddenly thrust into a medical emergency that required urgent intervention, far from the Alaskan frontier she calls home. After experiencing persistent abdominal pain and discomfort, doctors discovered two massive ovarian tumors growing inside her abdomen. One of the tumors weighed a staggering 8 pounds, while the other measured around 4 pounds, a shocking total of 12 pounds of abnormal tissue. These weren't just minor growths, they had grown silently to an extent that posed serious risks to her internal organs and overall health. To save her life and prevent further complications, Snowbird was rushed into emergency abdominal surgery. During the intense procedure, surgeons removed both ovarian tumors, her appendix, and even a portion of her abdominal wall, an indication of how invasive the growths had become. Yet despite the complexity of the surgery, doctors made a critical effort to preserve her uterus and ovaries, giving Snowbird the chance to retain her fertility, a deeply personal and important choice for a woman only in her 20s. The post-surgical news was a mix of relief and dread. The tumors were determined to be non-cancerous, sparing Snowbird from the trauma of immediate chemotherapy or cancer treatments. However, the pathology results came with a disturbing caveat. Medical professionals warned her that there was an 80% chance the tumors could return as malignant. The threat of ovarian cancer loomed large over her future, even in the wake of successful surgery. Not long after the initial operation, Snowbird traveled to Seattle for a diagnostic laparoscopy, a less invasive surgical procedure used to assess her internal condition and detect any early signs of recurrence. It was a necessary step, and one that confirmed she was not out of danger yet. The Seattle-based specialists monitored her for hidden abnormalities and provided her with a clearer picture of her long-term risk. Faced with such daunting odds, Snowbird was presented with an agonizing decision. Some doctors urged her to undergo a full hysterectomy, the surgical removal of the uterus and ovaries, as a preemptive measure to eliminate any possibility of cancerous regrowth. From a medical standpoint, it made sense. A hysterectomy would drastically lower her risk of ovarian cancer and potentially save her life down the road. But Snowbird wasn't ready to give up on the possibility of motherhood. Despite the immense pressure and the haunting statistics, she chose to preserve her reproductive organs, holding on to the hope that she might one day have children. This decision wasn't taken lightly. It was rooted in courage, personal values, and a belief in her body's resilience. She understood the risks, but refused to be defined or limited by them. Since then, Snowbird has committed to ongoing monitoring and periodic testing, ensuring that any abnormal growths can be caught and addressed early. She now lives with a vigilant eye on her health, while continuing to embrace the raw, rugged lifestyle that endeared her to millions of fans. It's a delicate balance between survival and dreams, between fear and faith. Snowbird's ordeal has highlighted not just her physical endurance, but also her emotional fortitude. Her choice to prioritize fertility despite overwhelming odds speaks volumes about her character. She's not just the tough bush girl surviving in the Alaskan wilderness. She's also a young woman fighting for control over her future, her body, and her identity. About a year earlier, in February 2023, Snowbird Brown, best known to fans of Alaskan Bush People as the quiet, nature-loving daughter of the Brown family, left her followers stunned with a rare and deeply personal transformation. For the first time in her life, She made the spontaneous decision to cut her own hair, taking scissors to her famous long brown locks in a moment that was both liberating and symbolic. And this wasn't just a trim. It was a deliberate and emotional act of self-expression. Snowbird, often seen on the show with long, wild, and unstyled hair that reflected her rugged Alaskan lifestyle, chose to embrace a lighter, more textured, natural look. The cut retained her earthy spirit while introducing a softness and freshness that fans had never seen before. Her new hairstyle was neither polished nor professionally done, and that was exactly the point. Instead of heading to a salon or showcasing a glossy makeover, Snowbird posted a simple selfie from the snowy Alaskan mountains. The backdrop was raw, peaceful, and authentic, just like her. Dressed in outdoor gear with a fresh, wind-blushed face, she let her hair fall freely around her shoulders, slightly shorter and more tousled than usual. Her expression was calm and confident, hinting at a sense of inner renewal. What truly caught fans' attention wasn't just the change in her hair, but the message behind it. Snowbird wore minimal makeup, letting her freckles, wind-chapped lips, and natural features shine through. In a culture often obsessed with curated beauty and photo filters, Snowbird's decision to show herself unretouched and unfiltered was a powerful reminder of her core values. She has long been admired for her resistance to the pressures of Hollywood-style glamour and for staying true to her roots, even as her fame grew through the hit Discovery Channel show. In the post accompanying the selfie, Snowbird reportedly wrote about embracing imperfections and finding strength in being real. She explained that the haircut wasn't about reinventing herself to fit in, but rather about shedding what no longer served her, both literally and metaphorically. Trimming her hair became a symbolic gesture of self-care and control, a way to reconnect with her identity on her own terms. This act of self-styling wasn't just a quirky personal moment. It was deeply empowering. For many women, especially those who have grown up in the spotlight, body image and public scrutiny can be incredibly damaging. Snowbird's decision to present herself authentically, with flaws and all, inspired many of her fans, particularly young women struggling with self-esteem, to reevaluate their own definitions of beauty. Fans flooded the comment section with supportive messages, praising her confidence and honesty. Many wrote that her courage gave them the push they needed to feel comfortable in their own skin. Some shared stories of their own hair transformations and how they, too, used haircuts as a form of emotional release. In that simple selfie, Snowbird reminded her audience that beauty doesn't come from makeup, styling tools, or filters. It comes from self-acceptance and inner peace. This small act also marked a subtle shift in Snowbird's public persona. Long considered one of the most private members of the Brown family, she has often stayed out of the spotlight compared to her siblings. But with this post, she stepped forward with vulnerability and authenticity, inviting fans into a more intimate part of her life. It was less about the physical change and more about the emotional growth behind it. In addition, among all the physical traits that distinguish Snowbird Brown, one of the most talked about and controversial features is her misaligned upper front teeth, marked by noticeable gaps, overlapping, and an uneven bite. While Hollywood often celebrates pearly white, perfectly aligned smiles, Snowbird has chosen to embrace her natural appearance in a way that both challenges conventional beauty standards and sparks intense conversation among fans of Alaskan bush people. For years, viewers have taken notice of her unique smile. In countless episodes and social media appearances, the imperfections in her teeth are clearly visible. Some fans have expressed curiosity or concern, wondering if Snowbird ever plans to seek orthodontic or cosmetic dental treatment. Others have gone so far as to speculate about potential dental health issues or difficulties eating due to the alignment. Yet Snowbird has remained silent on the topic publicly, never addressing the speculation or the noise around her smile, and that silence in itself is telling. Sources close to the Brown family have confirmed what many suspected. These are her natural teeth, untouched by veneers, braces, or whitening treatments. And more importantly, Snowbird has made the conscious decision not to pursue cosmetic dental work, despite being in the public eye for over a decade. That choice, though seemingly simple, reflects a deeper philosophy that fans have come to respect, a commitment to authenticity over image, even when the cameras are rolling. In the age of filtered selfies, celebrity makeovers, and relentless beauty pressure, Snowbird's refusal to fix her teeth sends a bold message. She is comfortable in her own skin, imperfections and all. For her, beauty isn't about conforming to arbitrary standards. It's about being real, grounded, and unbothered by outside opinions. This defiant confidence has won her admiration from fans who see her as a refreshing break from the overly polished reality TV norm. Still, public opinion remains sharply divided. Social commentary surrounding her teeth has ranged from concern to admiration, with some viewers expressing discomfort and suggesting she would look better with dental correction. Others see her smile as a symbol of natural beauty and inner strength. On fan forums and comment threads, debates often erupt. Some people advocate for dental intervention, while others applaud her courage to stay true to herself. For many fans, Snowbird's smile has become more than just a quirk of appearance. It's a statement of self-acceptance. It's a quiet rejection of the idea that a woman must modify herself to be worthy of attention, love, or respect. In staying natural, she stands out even more, not because of her teeth, but because of her refusal to mask them. What makes her decision even more notable is the world she grew up in. As part of the Alaskan bush people caste, Snowbird has lived much of her life under a microscope. While her family's off-grid lifestyle was often celebrated, their appearances were frequently criticized. Yet even with that pressure, Snowbird has never succumbed to the cosmetic trends that dominate social media and reality television. The significance of her decision goes beyond appearance. It speaks to values rooted in self-worth, independence, and resilience. She's a woman who grew up in the wild, built her life on survival and simplicity, and found strength not in looking perfect, but in being herself. Her teeth, just like her lifestyle, are unfiltered, raw, and real. Some fans have even drawn inspiration from her example, sharing how Snowbird helped them feel less ashamed of their own dental imperfections. In a world where smiles are often judged before words are even spoken, Snowbird Brown's unapologetic grin is a quiet rebellion, and it resonates deeply with those who feel pressured to hide or change who they are. You might not know this, for years, Snowbird Brown has been known as the quiet yet fierce daughter from Alaskan bush people, deeply rooted in the wilderness lifestyle of her unconventional family. Her days were typically spent tending to animals, hiking through remote terrain, and embracing a life far removed from modern society. Yet in recent years, especially throughout 2023 and 2024, fans have begun to notice a striking evolution. While her love for nature remains unshaken, Snowbird has developed a unique, bohemian-inspired sense of fashion that's all her own. This distinct personal style, though subtle, is an exciting departure from the purely rugged, utility-focused clothing associated with bush life. No longer limited to oversized flannels and muddy boots, Snowbird has embraced flowing dresses in natural hues, often adorned with floral or tribal patterns that mirror the environment she so reveres. Loose-fitting and comfortable, these dresses seem to move with her rather than restrict her, echoing the rhythm of the wild landscapes she continues to call home. Her wardrobe is also accented with layered, earthy accessories, beaded bracelets, handmade necklaces, feathered earrings, and leather pouches, each item appearing to be carefully chosen or perhaps even handcrafted. These details help tell a deeper story about who Snowbird is becoming. A woman still deeply connected to the land, but now expressing that connection through a creative, free-spirited aesthetic that blends rustic simplicity with artistic flair. On her Instagram account, where she posts sporadically but purposefully, Snowbird has started to give fans rare glimpses into her evolving fashion identity. It's not an overwhelming transformation or an influencer-style makeover. Instead, it's organic, personal, and deeply authentic. One day, she's holding a rescued animal against a backdrop of misty pine trees. Another, she's captured mid-laugh in a sun-drenched field, barefoot in a flowing skirt with layers of beads clinking at her wrists. These small windows into her life show not just what she wears, but how she feels in what she wears, free, grounded, and uniquely herself. While she hasn't publicly declared this shift or attempted to brand herself as a fashion icon, her quiet style statements have not gone unnoticed. Fans frequently comment on her photos, complimenting her Earth Goddess vibe or asking where she found a particular skirt or bracelet. What makes her approach so captivating is that it feels unforced. There's no sense of Snowbird trying to be anyone else. She's not chasing trends, likes, or sponsorships. Instead, her fashion feels like a natural extension of her spirit, unfiltered, creative, and deeply intuitive. What's even more impressive is how Snowbird manages to maintain this expressive boho style while still living primarily off-grid. Her lifestyle hasn't changed dramatically. She continues to care for animals, venture into the wilderness, and avoid the comforts of city life. But through fashion, she's carved out a space where she can explore personal identity and individuality without compromising her core values. Some of her most loved posts have featured wildlife close-ups paired with outfit snapshots, such as a deer nuzzling her hand while she wears a hand-dyed shawl or a baby goat tucked into the folds of her long cotton dress. In each image, the harmony between Snowbird's external and internal world is clear. Her fashion choices are not about aesthetics alone. They're about storytelling, connection, and emotional resonance. Moreover, her artistic sensibility doesn't stop with clothing. Observant fans have noticed her growing interest in photography, natural crafts, and journaling, often hinted at through captions or background elements in her posts. A sketchbook here, a hand-woven pouch there, all signs point to a young woman who is beginning to claim a space for creativity alongside her practical survival skills. If there's one defining thread in Snowbird Brown's life, it's her unwavering love and deep emotional connection to animals. Even amid the rugged demands of her off-grid lifestyle on Alaskan bush people, Snowbird has carved out a warm, soulful sanctuary where humans are not the only family. Animals reign with trust, love, and purpose. Over the years, this passion has blossomed into something far more than a hobby. It has become a way of life, a core part of her identity, and one of the most beloved aspects of her public persona. On the mountain property she shares with her family, Snowbird oversees what can only be described as a thriving feline community. At any given time, she cares for nearly 20 cats, a lively mix of adults, strays, and litters of kittens that often come and go with the seasons. Each cat is unique, and none are forgotten or treated as mere pets. Instead, they are nurtured, trained, and bonded with as companions and collaborators in her wilderness life. What sets Snowbird apart is how she's taken her feline affection to a practical and almost mythic level. Far from being indoor lap cats, some of her trained companions assist her in hunting, a remarkable skill that few cat owners would even imagine possible. This isn't just animal companionship. This is interspecies teamwork born of patience, understanding, and mutual respect. Snowbird has quietly become something of a cat whisperer, able to communicate with and guide her animals in a way that seems instinctive, almost mystical. But it's not all wild instincts and survival. Snowbird's relationship with her animals also reveals her endearing sense of humor and deep tenderness. Perhaps the clearest example of this is her quirky habit of giving her kittens pasta-themed names. Over the years, she has lovingly introduced fans to furry companions named Linguini, Alfredo, Ravioli, Spaghetti, and Macaroni. The names, whimsical and lighthearted, are a delightful window into her personality, one that blends rugged independence with childlike joy. Her Instagram posts and stories, though infrequent, are often filled with heartwarming moments that reflect this harmony between Snowbird and the animal world. Whether she's cuddling a batch of mewling kittens wrapped in a worn flannel shirt or bottle-feeding an orphaned baby cow in the snow, her interactions are raw, gentle, and completely unfiltered. These glimpses into her world are among her most popular posts, often sparking thousands of comments from fans who admire her gentleness and connection to nature. One particularly touching video showed Snowbird sitting on a hay bale as a curious calf approached, sniffing her outstretched hand before settling beside her like a faithful dog. In another, a kitten named Fettuccine pawed at her braid while she giggled softly, the moment so simple yet saturated with warmth. These aren't staged photo ops, they are the natural rhythm of her daily life. Over time, Snowbird's bond with animals has helped solidify her identity as not just a nature lover, but as an animal advocate. She's never used flashy hashtags or launched a formal campaign, yet her message is clear. All creatures, no matter how small or misunderstood, deserve compassion, care, and companionship. Her quiet actions, rescuing strays, nursing the sick, honoring the bond between species, speak louder than any social media push ever could. What's most remarkable is how seamlessly Snowbird has integrated this love of animals into the wilderness lifestyle that defines her. While her family may focus on survival skills, building shelters, and navigating the Alaskan terrain, Snowbird builds something equally vital: relationships with animals that bring joy, protection, and emotional balance to an often isolated existence. Even with growing public attention and evolving creative interests, her commitment to animals hasn't wavered. If anything, it has grown deeper. As her fans watch her style evolve or witness her navigating health challenges, one thing remains beautifully consistent. Her world always has space for a meowing kitten, a hungry calf, or a playful cat trailing her through the brush. To know Snowbird Brown is to understand that her heart beats not just for the wilderness, but for every living creature that shares it with her. In a world that often demands change, polish, or conformity, she continues to live and love on her own terms. Her animal companions aren't just part of the scenery, they are her soulmates, her family, her mission. And in caring for them, Snowbird Brown continues to show the world what it truly means to live wild, kind, and free. What do you think about Snowbird Brown's surprising changes? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this, and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.